Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Last week I posted a video of my top 10 most wanted G.I. Joe Classified Series Joe figures, and so many of you commented about, hey, where's Cobra? I'm not going to leave you hanging. I had this video in the can. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, let's just jump right into it. I knew that my top 10 list could not contain both G.I. Joe and Cobra figures. So I knew I was going to have to do a two-parter to this video series. And so, yeah, there's just too many to fit in there. So, yeah, this is my Cobra list. This is my top 10 most wanted unannounced Cobra list. I know there was a lot of people last time on the Joe video commented like, why didn't you put this figure? Or why didn't you put this figure? And it was because maybe those figures had already been announced somewhere down the line. They'd already been either officially announced, shown as a digital render, or decoded from like inventory trackers with code names and things like that, for people who do far better sleuthing than I do. So, as far as I can tell, using the same list that I found on histank.com, these Cobra figures have not been announced anywhere, and these are my top 10 favorites. Does one of yours make the list? Let's find out. Number 10 on my list is going to be an army builder, and it's going to be the Iron Grenadiers. I really love these guys' design. I hope we get an Iron Grenadier Destro in the future to lead these guys into battle, but I just think that they're great. I love their design, the helmets, the mask, the reds, the blacks, the golds. They just look incredible, and I can't wait to get a couple of these guys on my shelf. So that's number 10 on my list, the Iron Grenadiers. Next up on my list for number 9 is going to be a figure that I think we all know is coming but hasn't been officially announced yet, and that is Zandar, the brother of Zartan, and you know, we know that this figure's coming because we already have Zarana, but I just love this 90s feel. You know, you get the bright orange hair, the pinks, the blues, and I really think that that this figure is going to pair well both with Zartan and Zarana. So, yeah, he had to make it on the list, number 9. So we know that we're getting a few of the Dreadnoughts down the road. Some of them have been officially announced, but these have not, so they got to be on my list. I love the Dreadnoughts. I love Zartan and his gang, and so I had to put on my list. Number 8 has to be Torch. I love, you know, I think he'll be a good foil for Blowtorch. Most definitely. I love the big tank. I love his like his mustache beard, that little thing going on the headband. I mean, he's just so 80s, 90s. He's just a great, really cool figure, and I know that there's going to be some really cool storytelling going on when Hasbro gets around to making this guy for sure. Torch isn't going to be the only Dreadnought to make it on this list. Like I said, some have been announced, some have not. But one of my favorites definitely has to be Road Pig. This guy is huge. He's big. He's beefy. He comes with this big concrete block slab sledgehammer thing that just looks incredible. He's got the crossbow that fits on his arm, the haircut, just everything about him. I think they could really deck this guy out with tattoos and his armor. More than likely, he'd probably be a deluxe figure, and I would be okay with that because I really want to add Road Pig to my collection. He's just so absurd. And look at that crotch armor he's got going on. That thing is incredible. Probably my favorite of all of Zartan's Dreadnoughts is going to have to be my number 6 on this list, and that is Monkey Wrench. I just love the big high collar vest, the reds, the blues, the bandanas tied around his, the handkerchiefs tied around his ankles look great, his knees. I love that big pitchfork gun that he's got and all of the grenades around his belt, on his chest. Those sunglasses, which I'm sure Hasbro will make removable. He is just absolutely great. Another guy with a big beard and mustache to add to the collection. He looks incredible, and yeah, I can't wait to get him. He's my favorite of all of the Dreadnoughts, so can't wait to get him into the collection. All right, now we're moving into the top 5, the most coveted slots in my list. And we're going to kick number 5 off with a very weird character, but one that I think is going to make a great addition to the Cobra lineup, and that is Crystal Ball. I know he looks a lot like Dr. Mindbender, but he's got some weird, like, Kraven the Hunter style, like, fur collar going on, the vest, all the stitch work he's got going on. And I would really hope that Hasbro would give us, like, his lenticular shield to, you know, where he can hypnotize you. I think that would be really great. Another guy with a mustache, so I know Lenny's going to be all about this one. So yeah, number 5 on my list had to be Crystal Ball. Number 4 on my list is one that I know Hasbro is going to knock this out of the park, because he's just so weird and bizarre, and he's not going to be the only character on my list that comes with a pet. So number 4 is going to be Voltar, Destro's general. I love this guy. The pinks, the purples, the gold. He's got that crazy helmet with the eye patch, which just looks great. He comes with that vulture, which I can't remember his name, but he comes with some great weapons, that really gnarly looking backpack. He has a gun holster on his chest, which I'm sure Hasbro will make that like actually workable, where the gun comes out. Another guy with a mustache and a beard. Like, what can I say? I'm kind of drawn to them, and just the fact that he comes with this, he comes with a vulture. I mean, that's just bizarre. But this is going to be somebody who goes along straight with the Iron Grenadiers, and so I think they'll do a really good job with the Voltar, and that's why he's my number 4. Number 3 on my list is another Dreadnought, and this guy is just absolutely incredible. He is very bizarre, and while Monkey Wrench is my favorite of all of the Dreadnoughts, this guy is a close second, but he's just so weird and cool looking that I really had to put him high up on the list, and that is Nagahide. The Dreadnought Poacher. Again, I forget the name of most of these animals. I think the only animal I can ever remember is Freedom and Timber. That's probably the only animals I can remember. But I just love this guy. Another guy with a mustache. You see a theme here. He comes with this big gnarly sniper rifle. He's got this machete that goes on his arm, pistols, bows, arrows, just you name it, this guy comes with it. He has that really dope hat that looks really cool, that they could probably use Ricondo's hat maybe for that. I'm not sure, like repurpose it. But I love that he, again, another character that looks kind of like Kraven the Hunter. He's got this gnarly, like, leopard print like vest that he has, and this chain around his neck, teeth and claws, just looks great. And he comes with this wild boar. Just, there's so much about this character to love, and I can't wait to see Hasbro add this to the collection, because he just looks absolutely incredible. Now that's going to bring us to our top 2 slots. You guys can probably already figure out who these are if you know me, and I had a really hard time. I kept flip-flopping between one should be one and the other should be 2, and then, like, no, this really should be 1, this one should be 2. I just had to make a decision at the end of the day, and my number 2 is going to be Cobra Commander with the battle armor. To me, this is my second favorite Cobra Commander of all time, the first one being like the hooded version, which is why I have the custom head that you guys saw in one of the reviews. But I can't wait. I think a lot of people are on this train. They really want this armored Cobra Commander, and I am really sure that Hasbro is going to be giving us this character very, very, very soon. I think this guy looks incredible. The detail, just so much about this guy just rocks, and I know that he's got to be on the list. He just hasn't been announced yet. So, can you guys figure out who my number 1 figure is for the Cobra team? You know, to me, this guy is my all-time favorite. My favorite G.I. Joe of all time is Zartan, so I couldn't put him on the list again because we've already got him, and, you know, who needs another version of Zartan? But I had to go with Storm Shadow version 2 here with the hood and the camo. I really, really, really want Hasbro to make this figure. He just looks great. He looks incredible. I love it. He was one of my favorite, probably in my top 3 or 4 favorite G.I. Joe figures when I was a kid. I still have one on my shelf today. Let's see. Can you see it? It's right up there. Right up there. There's one standing on my shelf. I just absolutely love this guy, and he had to be my number 1. It was a toss-up between him and Cobra Commander, but this was the one I went with because I want him so, so bad. And we've already got so many versions of Storm Shadow. What's one more? He's a classic character. He's a fan favorite, and I know at some point in the future Hasbro is going to give us this figure. But that's my top 10 list of favorite, most wanted unannounced G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra figures, Cobra Edition figures. Did your figures make the list? Did I miss anything? Did I get something wrong? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, what your list is. Give me your top 10, give me your top 5, give me your number 1, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so very much for supporting this channel with all the likes, the comments, and subscribers. You guys are utterly amazing, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Please remember to hit us up over at Instagram.com/SaturdayMorningToy Collector. I am the Saturday Morning Toy Collector, and I'm your host, Mark. And remember, I will see you in the toy aisles.